Welcome to Ghostly, the podcast that puts the paranormal on trial.
Usually we do that every 2 weeks, but it's October, so we'll be doing it every week. I'm going to unearth a chilling ghost story, track down the legends, the eyewitness accounts, and the history behind a haunting.
And I, your friendly neighborhood skeptic, get to tag along to poke holes in the theories. My job is to find the logical explanation, the creaky floorboards, if you would, behind the ghostly footsteps.
In the end, it's not up to us. It's up to you, our listener, to weigh the evidence.
You get to decide, is it genuine haunting?
Or is it all senseless talk?
But before we summon the spirits today, make sure to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're at. It's the best way to make sure that you never miss a new spooky tale.
As always, we're your hosts.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Rebecca. Now let's turn down the lights and see what's waiting for us in the shadows. Does Lucille Ball haunt this earth?
Yeah, that is the question, right? So I'm just going to say that if you stick around until the ending section, I don't know what we're naming it yet. We haven't come up with a name for it yet. The closing parts of Ghostly, you will hear a new way to contact us, and we're really excited about it. I think it's going to change the way we do everything, pretty much.
Yeah, super exciting. So yes, make sure you stay all the way through today.
Yeah, and happy spooky season, Rebecca.
Yeah, happy spooky season. This is so much fun. This is obviously our favorite time of year, and I'm assuming for many of our listeners. Hopefully you've got your pumpkins, you got the horror movies lined up for yourselves.
You got your candy corn.
Yeah, sure. If you're glutton for punishment.
If you want waxy teeth, then you have that.
But as you heard in my intro, it's this season, we love to come out with weekly episodes. I mean, it's just not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough. And we have a theme. We always pick a theme.
Absolutely. And our theme is celebrities now.
We're going Hollywood.
These are probably not celebrities that you've heard of in the news anytime soon. And some of you might be too young and you might have never heard of these people.
That's true.
But it's going to be an interesting ride because we both have heard about all these people.
Yes.
So we're going to have some nostalgic value to it. Mm-hmm. And let me get it started. What does Lucille Ball and Star Trek have in common?
No idea.
Yeah. Well, after this episode, you'll have the story of why they are connected together. I was stunned by this and I had to put it in there like that. Lucille Ball was a true star of television. With her bright red hair and a special talent for making people laugh, she became one of the most famous women in the world. She lived by a powerful philosophy, once saying,
"Love yourself first, and everything else falls into line." You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world.
Especially in Hollywood, I would imagine.
I would imagine.
And I am going to constantly put Rebecca up to the test here. I have a bunch of quotes in here.
Okay, I'm ready.
And Rebecca is going to be reading those quotes for us. So she wasn't aware of this until right now.
Okay.
For decades, Lucille Ball starred in some hit shows like I Love Lucy and other ones that she produced as well, and proved that she was not just a brilliant comedian, but a super smart and powerful businesswoman that changed the way that motion pictures and television shows are done.
Absolutely. Does the spirit of comedy legend Lucille Ball still linger among us, though, is the real question. From eerie music in her old attic to the scent of her perfume drifting through Paramount Studios, is Lucy still making sure the show goes on, even from beyond the grave?
I think we're going to find out.
All right. Are you ready for a ghost story?
Yeah, I'm always ready for a ghost story.
It's time for a spooky tale from Rebecca.
I wasn't planning to stop. I was just driving through Beverly Hills, past Lucy's old place on Roxbury Drive. I'd heard part of it was being torn down, but part of me didn't believe that. She loved that house too much. When I saw it, my heart sank. The garden was gone, the walls half collapsed. Through a broken frame, I could see her old bedroom, sunlight cutting across the emptiness. I sat there, staring, feeling like I was looking at the ghost of a memory. Then I noticed her. A tall, slim redhead stood by the fence, watching the runes. Her hair caught in the light, that unmistakable copper glow. She turned towards me. And it was Lucy. Not the TV Lucy, but the woman I remembered. Human, graceful, eyes full of humor and heartbreak. Before I could call out, she walked slowly around the corner of the house and vanished. The air filled with her perfume, that soft floral scent she always wore. It lingered for a moment, then drifted away. I like to think she wasn't angry. She was just there to say goodbye. One last look at the home she loved.
Wow. So how much of this is based on facts of any kind?
So there, pretty much most of it. I mean, again, making it into a story, pulling in a few things here and there from other places, but the heart of the story of someone seeing her when the house was being remodeled is a true story.
Okay, so we're just going to jump into the Pat Facts.
Pat Facts!
Since Rebecca did such a great job with that haunted story there.
Pat's Facts. From a skeptic point of view. Pat's Facts. He presents it all to you. Pat's Facts. Facts.
Okay, but one thing I want to talk about, we keep talking about her red hair, but when we first saw Lucy, it was in black and white.
That's true. I don't think about, well, I think for us, we probably saw her with the red hair. I mean, I would imagine, but like for most people, when they originally first saw her, it was black and white TV.
But still, she was known for like the red hair and the goofiness, that she had.
Sure.
She was definitely one of those comedic people that like, I always admire those physical comedians like a John Ritter and stuff like that. And she was definitely like that,
Yeah. If you're listening to this and you are younger and you've never seen a scene from I Love Lucy, like, I don't know if that's possible, but if you haven't for some reason, just look it up. Yeah. Look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there's lots of scenes, lots of episodes.
We're gonna talk about a couple of the big
I was just gonna say, we'll get into it, but just do yourself that favor.
So okay, let's just get this started then. Lucille Desiree Ball, which it's hard to call her Lucille.
It is.
I always want to call her Lucy. Yeah. She was born on August 6, 1911 in Jamestown, New York. Her childhood wasn't easy. Her father died when she was just 3, which was very hard on her family. Her main inspiration was her own mother, Dee Dee, who always encouraged her to follow her dreams. Young Lucy also admired movie stars like Betty Davis and dreamed of being on stage herself.
Okay, so even as a kid, she wanted to be a star, wanted to do that. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, when she was 15, she moved to New York City to study acting. Hollywood wasn't as big of a deal then as it is now.
Okay.
Her teachers told her that she was too shy and wouldn't make it.
Oh, wow.
Of all the things to call Lucy.
Yeah, right?
Too shy, yeah. But Lucy didn't give up. Fueled by a spirit she later described perfectly.
I'd rather regret the things I've done than regret the things I haven't done.
Yeah. That's an excellent quote. She started working as a model, and soon her pictures were in popular advertisements.
Wow. Okay. I mean, Lucy is pretty, but I think because of the nature of what she did, I don't think of her as a model.
Yeah, I don't either. But if you look back at some of her pictures, she was stunning back then too, especially in her younger life too. As she got a little bit older, she took on more of the. She was still beautiful, but she took on more like the momish kind of role.
Sure.
Then,
yeah.
And you just don't, it's just not the first thing that you see. You see her goofiness, her intelligence, her charisma.
Yeah.
It's, so it's hard to, it overshadows her beauty too.
Yeah.
So.
Which, I think is good.
Yeah. In 1933, she got her big break and moved to Hollywood to be in movies. For many years, she acted in dozen smaller films. While she was a busy actress, she was still waiting for that role that would make her a major star. And then the big change in Lucy's life came with television. Nobody would have thought that television was, the place you would go to die pretty much. But
yeah, right.
But she became famous because of it. CBS asked her to bring her popular radio show called My Favorite Husband to TV. Lucy had one important demand. And you're going to find out during this that she has a lot of demands, and she will not accept things that are done without her particular way of doing it.
Okay.
She wanted her real life husband, who was Desi Arnaz, a Cuban band leader. So when he was playing Ricky, he was pretty much himself.
Oh yeah, I've read a little bit about his life, and he was a musician.
Yeah. Also, he was super smart too.
Oh yeah.
To play her husband on the show. That was her one demand. But at the time, TV executives worried that audiences wouldn't believe their marriage.
Oh.
So, I mean, we think of everything going on in life nowadays and how crazy times get. Well, times were already crazy back then, too. So, they couldn't believe that there would be this marriage between an interracial couple. So, but to prove them wrong, Lucy and Desi created their own production company called Desilu Productions and performed a live show together that audience just loved.
Oh, cool.
So they already hit it big then. I Love Lucy first aired on TV on October 15th, 1951, and it was a huge hit right away, immediately.
And let's just take a second, because I always like to think of this, a lot of times people think like overnight star, but it's like in 1933 is when she got her big break to go to Hollywood to be in movies. But even then you said they were like smaller roles. So it took until 51 for her to, star in this TV show. So yeah, she worked hard for a long time to get where she wanted to be.
Yeah. And the show that they came up with was I Love Lucy, which was about Lucy Ricardo, a housewife who was always trying to get into show business.
Yes, she was.
And her husband, Ricky, who was often frustrated by her crazy plans. Scenes like Lucy trying to wrap chocolates on a speeding conveyor belt or stomping grapes in a giant vat became instant classics.
Yeah.
And like nowadays, you would be like, oh, well, that's my wife, but back then it was more like, no, the wife was supposed to provide dinner when you came home and the wife was supposed to do this. And there was those roles played in the show, but she was the first person to kind of push those boundaries in television. So,
yeah, well, I mean, like the idea was, I think, right, like Ricky, like he played it, like you said, a musician on the show. And so she always wanted to she was like, put me in your act. And he just didn't want to.
No, he never wanted to.
Yeah. And then, anyways, it's such a good show. And this is making me want to go watch those scenes or watch some episodes. So,
yeah. Well, Lucy and Desi. So this is the true brilliance behind them. So there's a few things I'm going to talk about here, and each one of them sets the scene for another thing.
Okay.
So they changed how television was made.
Oh, wow.
So they decided to film their show in California, which nowadays doesn't seem crazy. That's where most shows are filmed.
Mm-hmm.
But they used high quality film because back then everything was live broadcasted from New York City.
Oh, wow. Live, like Saturday Night Live broadcasted.
Yeah, but you can't even imagine what it was like. You have to go back in time and look at those particular things because the picture quality was very poor.
Sure.
Because they didn't need it to be great. It was live. They needed to stream that signal across distances.
Wow.
So this meant that when they made the show, it looked better and allowed for reruns then.
Oh.
So there was no reruns before
right.
I Love Lucy.
If it was live, they weren't taping it. Like you said, they were streaming it.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't. I'm sure that wasn't the word they used, but yeah. Wow.
Now here's something that I learned by one of my improv teachers.
Okay.
That was very familiar with Lucy and Desi's work and stuff like that. Even more importantly, their company Desilu Productions owned the show, not the TV network.
Oh.
So they didn't need to own the network. They owned the show that people needed because everyone was watching it. So it was a brilliant and groundbreaking move because they owned the rights. They had full creative control and can sell the reruns themselves. All those reruns go to Desilu Productions.
That's crazy.
So this decision made them incredibly wealthy. I mean, like beyond belief.
I can't even imagine.
I mean, there is still I Love Lucy in reruns nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And it created a business model for how TV stars could profit from their own work. A model that's used today even.
Wow.
They also filmed in front of a live audience to capture the real laughter, which became the standard for sitcoms. Now,
right. So it's kind of like a compromise. Yeah.
But I don't know if that was just a takeover because that's how every show looked. They just thought that they had to do that. Or if that was actually like, no, we're planning to do this for this particular reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I know, like, I remember like Friends and stuff seeing a thing, they filmed that in front of audiences. They like to get the laughter, but they still can like redo a scene or whatever because they're taping it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Desilu Productions became a major TV studio, creating other hit shows like Untouchables and Mission Impossible. Sadly, though, Lucy and Desi's marriage was not meant to be forever. It ended in divorce in 1960. A few years later, Lucy had enough money saved up to buy out Desi.
Wow.
All of his shares in the company. This made her the first woman ever to run a major television studio. And they kind of created the idea of television studios. So that's,
Yeah.
It was a gutsy decision that required more than just humor because she did have that, right? Mm-hmm. She once explained,
I'm not funny. What I am is brave.
And that is true. In a bold move, she proved her point. She gave the green light with Desilu Productions to do a little show called Star Trek.
Wow, that's awesome.
So everybody passed on Star Trek.
Wow.
Nobody wanted it.
That's crazy.
And even after they put it out, they only put it out for a little bit and then they canceled it.
Yeah.
And then there was a write-in campaign to get it brought back.
That's amazing.
So that's all Lucy.
Yeah, very cool.
So Lucy continued to star on television for many more years. So it's hard to know if you're watching I Love Lucy or The Lucy Show. One of the ways you can tell is Desi Arnaz is not in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you'll notice episodes where they refer to him like he's in the studio recording or something like that. Okay. And Here's Lucy. There's another one, which were both very, very popular. She proved that it wasn't Desi that made her a star. It was herself.
Sure.
Then she married her second husband, Gary Morton, in 1961, and they were together for the rest of her life. And sadly, everything must come to an end. Lucille Ball passed away April 26th of 1989 at the age of 77. The world lost a comedy legend, but her work lives on. So she broke down barriers for women in comedy and in business. Thanks to reruns, I Love Lucy is still watched all over the world. Lucille Ball's gift for laughter continues to entertain new generations, securing her place as a true American icon who perfectly fulfilled her own life's goal.
I'm happy that I have brought laughter to the world.
And she definitely did.
Definitely.
So I see you have some notes here, so you have something to add to the history.
I do. I mean, I just like there's a lot. I mean, like we could do a whole episode, obviously, like on I Love Lucy or Lucy herself. One thing I just want to I once dressed up as Lucy for Halloween.
Well, you got the red hair. For those that have never seen you.
Well, I did wear a wig because you got to get that look
perfectly bright.
Right. But it was so much fun. But no, so I want to just we're going to talk about Lucy's ghost, but during her lifetime, Lucy herself believed in ghosts.
Yes, she did.
She did. And so one of the things that you talked about was that they made the decision to move to television.
Yes.
And that was risky at the time.
Very.
And I think even it's only really been the last maybe even 10 years like now where you see movie stars regularly showing up on TV. That was just like not a thing. It was
Yeah.
seen as very different, like a loser move kind of in a way.
In fact, there's stars that leave movies to do television.
Yeah, which is
especially when you
so
have a
different.
family and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
a more regular gig.
Exactly.
You can live close to the studio then.
Yeah, you can tell bigger stories,
Yeah,
things like
exactly.
that. Well, anyways, when they were debating
Mhm.
whether or not to make this move from movies to TV, Lucy believed with all her heart that her role model, Carol Lombard, who I had never heard of before, but I guess she had been the one to really push Lucy in the very, very beginning. Anyway, she passed away from a plane crash, but she believed that that Carol visited Lucy on a regular basis. And one of the things that happened was when she was trying to make that decision, she believed that Carol came to her in a dream and told her, no, you need to do the TV show. That's going to be the right move.
Wow.
And when she woke up, she was done and decided to do it.
Wow.
And then there is another part of it that she had a very superstitious nature.
Mm-hmm.
So reportedly, Carol Lombard's mother told Lucy the letters A and R were very lucky for her numerology profile. I don't know if this happened before or after Carol's death, but from then on, most of the characters Lucy played contained the lucky AR combo, thus Lucy Ricardo.
Wow. That's interesting.
I mean, again, that wasn't she chose that because she wanted, the A and the R.
And because Ricky Ricardo makes
It's fun to
it's
say.
sing-songy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a break. And when we return, I think we have a debate coming up.
I'm excited.
All right. See you in a second. All right, we are back. I think we should do a debate, Rebecca.
Really? You think that's what we should do?
I don't believe all this, haunted stuff. So,
All right, let's talk about it.
okay.
So this comes from the ghost story.
Okay.
So one of the most compelling stories came from a friend of Lucy's who, after her death, drove by her Beverly Hills home to see it one last time. You'll see it in different ways, but the reality is it was being partially torn down, and then they also totally redid the front of it. So it looks different. And they tore up the garden and put a parking lot that, took paradise and
put up a parking lot. Yeah.
Anyways.
That's a Counting Crows song.
Yeah.
Also, it's a Joan Baez song.
Yeah. Okay. So as he was driving by, there was part of a wall missing and he could see into her old bedroom. And he spotted a tall, slim redhead peering through the fence, Lucy herself, and that he said she looked confused, heartbroken before walking around the south corner of the house and vanishing. So many people believe that Lucy returned to witness this destruction of her old home, unwilling to let go of the place where she'd lived her most private human moments.
All right. So you're saying that many people believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But only this person saw it?
Yes. It's only
Okay.
this was one person that's claimed to see it. And when people
And then
hear
people say
that
that that's the
story,
reasoning.
right.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if only one person saw it, he could have been confused by something else. He could have, there's a lot of different possibilities there then. Although, I do have some compassion for his heartbreaking over the moment of seeing a parted friend, that would have to be something very touching. But I don't think it was a ghost that he saw. I think it was probably something else. I think he was confused. Maybe there's a memory that he had or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is because I can't be in that situation. There's no picture to show me where he was standing and where he saw this. And other stuff. So I'm just going to have to go with, I don't believe it was a ghost. I believe it was his imagination in some capacity.
Okay. And so
His grieving imagination.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go 1 on this one then, because you like to give me these ones I can't do anything with. So I give it a 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's a compelling story. You know, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's one story. It's not like it was a one situation, but I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
It's not the strongest thing ever, but I believe that he, especially based on other things that are going to come up, that it's very possible that he saw her there.
Okay.
All right. So next one. So then the house didn't stop being haunted though, even after it was remodeled. So owners since then, and it was owned by the same person for quite a while after that did the remodel, but they report that most of the activity comes from the attic. So they can hear voices that sound like there's a party. And then even with that, one resident said that they heard the I Love Lucy theme song drifting down from above. Like they could hear it. It was faint but distinct, as though Lucy herself was cueing the band for another scene. To this day, the homeowners describe her presence as playful but seldom intrusive, like a host who can't resist throwing one last get together. So just, like I'll say, like all of these hauntings, there's nothing scary about them. Like, I mean, there's stuff scary, but like, it's not like people don't feel threatened by her. Okay. So I've got one other little fact there that I'm going to talk about, but this is the haunting thing, which is that they hear sounds of voices and music coming from the attic.
Okay. My thing is, I don't think she would play the I Love Lucy theme song from the attic. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't believe at all. But I mean, as residents of this house, you don't buy a former actress, especially of the status of Lucille Ball's house, without the knowledge of it and wanting that particular connection with her. So I believe that this is something that they want a lot. And I think, therefore, they have made that connection. But I don't think that it's with Lucy. I think it's with the memory of her. Mm. And so I'm sorry. Oh, what did you give the other one as far as? 6. 6. Okay. So for this one, I don't know. I think the homeowners are special people, and they want to feel special by having her presence still be there. And that's why they bought the house. So I'm going to go 0 on this one, actually. Okay.
Well, and kind of going along with that, just this, it's not necessarily associated to just this one haunting. It's kind of all of the hauntings there. But when I think it was this OG, like homeowner, the one that was after Lucy, that someone asked, because like they were saying like, yeah, we're hearing voices and like some of these other things that are going on. And they said, well, would you consider doing an exorcism?
Yeah.
And they said, no, like we wouldn't do that to Lucy. Yeah. Like they want her there.
And sometimes that desire, right, is more than what actually happens. It's like, I think that desire feeds that then. So it could be that they heard something and they just, oh my God, maybe that's Lucy. They've already decided, in those words right there. I don't know. It's just, to me, it just like, it would take a special person to buy that house. And not to say I wouldn't buy it, and not to say I wouldn't joke that there was Lucy there too. But I'm just saying that kind of person is needed for that kind of house, which is great.
But it's interesting because they did totally change the house. I mean, like they really did a lot of remodeling. Like when you look at the pictures, you can see that it's the same place, but like it also looks very, very different. So they obviously did like her, but it wasn't that they were like, we want to live in the exact house that Lucy lived in. So,
I mean, all those 70s styles and stuff like that have gone out of style now. So probably, I mean, there are some people though that love the 70s vibe though. So
yeah, well, it might have even been the 60s that she. I'm not sure when it was
probably
built.
60s, 70s. Yeah,
yeah, because this is the house that I read. This whole thing about the house too is that she built it with Desi.
Okay,
and then when they divorced, he left and she still stayed in the house until the end of her life. So,
and I know it was really hard for her when Desi died as well. So.
Oh, that was a story I was going to say that I had heard that like their daughter, I think, said that when Desi was on his deathbed, that she called and talked to him and everything, and that they always had a connection. Even everyone said that her second husband was definitely a true love or whatever.
Yeah.
They really loved each other, but she always had a connection.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of memories, and they made a buttload of money.
I mean, they
so.
had a life, right?
Yeah, they definitely did, and they partied like no one's business.
So I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give it another 6, just because like voices and music to me, like especially coming from the attic, it's kind of faint. Like, like I think it's possible, but it's a little harder to say it couldn't be something else.
Sure.
Okay, next one. So this is we're continuing one more time at the house.
Okay.
So as we, and again, it's the attic is the biggest thing. But so Lucy was known for her perfectionism.
Yeah.
That kind of comes through with what you talked about.
Yeah.
Everything had to have its place on set and at home.
It was not only that. She was so when you say someone's controlling, that usually sounds like it's a very bad thing for them. And it is in some way, especially me as a Buddhist, to think of the control aspect. But people that are controlling sometimes is not for bad. Sometimes it's just that they just like things the way that they like them. And they need a special person to go along with that, because not everyone could deal with that. In fact, most people can't. So,
Yeah. And so supposedly that kind of continued into her afterlife.
Yeah.
So several owners of her former home have claimed that boxes and furniture stored in the attic were frequently rearranged. Nothing was damaged, but the items never stayed where people left them. It's as if Lucy still wanders around tidying things up and fussing over the details. But it's interesting that she stays in the attic. She doesn't do it downstairs.
Yeah.
She only does it up in the attic. And I don't know if there's maybe some old items of hers that are still up there and that's what she's kind of connected to or something.
I thought the same thing when you had talked about the attic too. I was thinking, Lucy wouldn't be one to hide in an attic.
She's also, polite.
Polite. I don't know if I would use that word for her.
Respectful?
But,
I don't know.
Yeah, respectful maybe. But so, all right. I want you to picture that you have this huge house and you put something in the attic, okay? And then you don't go in there for a week or two. Are you going to remember where you put that particular item?
Yeah.
You are? I wouldn't remember.
Not
it.
maybe. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't some times where you might forget, but
I'm sure the attic
most
is huge.
Part, yes, it is. Big house. But I mean, for the most part, you're going to remember.
And also, how likely is it that they put something in the attic and they're going into the attic to look at it? I would imagine that they probably have people that work for them. And
I don't know.
Housekeepers, those kind of things, butlers, whatever.
Well, then they're saying that it moved. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the likelihood of this happening is so crazy. So I'm going to have to go 0 on this one as well.
All right, this one to me is up there, so I'm going to give this one a 7.
You're going to give this one a 28.
Yeah, because things moving is a little different.
Okay.
Now we're going to go to a couple of things that happen at another location. So Lucy's ghost is not just seen at her former home, but also at Paramount Studios, which is also where Desilu production companies used to be. So night watchmen and staff report the unmistakable scent of her signature floral perfume wafting through the Hart Building's upper floors at night. And some of them have said that they have seen a shadowy figure in 1950s attire moving quickly through the halls. So they smell her perfume, and some of them have said that they see a figure.
All right, and this is at the production studio.
Yes, at the production studio.
Not at her home.
Not at her home. Places.
Lucy was a huge smoker. She was a chain smoker.
Yeah.
I've seen her on talk shows where literally she puts out one cigarette, lights another one.
Yeah.
Literally the same second.
She died of an aneurysm. So.
Yeah. So kids,
don't
do that. Yeah. I don't know. This one to me, it's a little different because it's at the studio. Because I was going to say that, her house would probably, even though they've done a lot of changes, if they kept any of the wood, it could hold those things.
Yeah.
But at the studio, I mean, I would imagine she would have spent a lot of time there then because she was the boss. She was the boss lady there. So I'm going to say that it's probably because of that. It's probably the same exact thing where, so like she was in this room so much that her perfume is in the woodwork,
Interesting.
Or it's in the furniture, or I don't know what's remaining from when she was there, but it's in something. And that's the reason why people would smell it, especially the late at night kind of thing, because nobody else is in there then. So you don't have other fragrances to compete with it.
Okay.
Especially in California, the heat, I'm going to say that's probably it. But the shadowy figure in 1950s attire moving quickly through the halls, that is interesting. And I bet this is reported by like people that clean the building and stuff like that. Probably not anybody like an executive or anything staying late.
Well, it's I mean, it's more overnight than it is. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just tied to her memory that she's there, and people want that connection still, just like the homeowners, the people that work there too. I mean, I'm sure some of them really want a strong connection. They know that that's formerly Desilu Productions. So, I'm sure that they know of the history of it and they want that connection. So that's what I'm going to go with. And I'm going to say it's probably 0 for this one then.
Okay. I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give it a 7. It's a little tricky for me because like the figure I'm not as sure about, but the perfume, just scent is always such a strong thing. And I don't know, to me, it doesn't make sense that it would just be in the furniture. So I would, to me, I think her spirit has to be kind of around. So it's a little stronger for me.
It's only a strong thing if we could prove that there are ghosts then and say, every time there's a ghost, there's a smell. Or oftentimes when there's a ghost, there's a smell, but we can't prove that there's ghosts. So therefore, we can't prove if that's true.
You have to believe.
No, I can't. Go re-listen to my Why I'm a Skeptic episode.
There you go. All right. So then last one is still at the Paramount Studios. Supposedly the lights in her old office turn on even when no one is there. So they say she's still working, getting that perfection.
Yeah. In a lot of office buildings, though, they have timers on lights. So I'm going to say that there's some timer on it.
Well, I would imagine if I'm someone that's claiming her light's turning itself on, I would know about the timers.
Maybe unless it's just somebody happened to be there in the building at that time that they're usually not there that are reporting this. So
I see.
So that's a reasonable explanation for that. So I'm going to have to give it a 0. So.
All right, that's fair. I'll go with 5 then.
Okay. All right. So what would be your overall rating then, Rebecca?
Okay. So overall, I was kind of all over the place with this one. I'm going to go with 6.
Okay.
Now, 6.
I want to do something else in this particular episode, and I might do this for every celebrity. A scale between 0 to 10. How badly do you want Lucille's ghost to be real?
0. I want Lucy to be at peace somewhere else.
You don't want it to be like, wow, she's still there. And
no. Okay.
All right.
So it makes me a little sad.
Makes you sad that she's there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I just wanted to get a feel. For me, it would be like a 4 or 5, I would say. Yeah. I mean, for me, I would think of it as that spirit is not at rest. Unless it's a happy ghost. It doesn't seem like it's a happy ghost.
Yeah. Though. I know that like people say she's not dangerous, but I don't know how happy she is. Yeah.
I don't believe in sustained happiness either. So that's a topic for another episode, I guess. But yeah, so whatever.
Yeah. So what's your overall rating then?
My overall rating will be a 1 then.
Okay.
Because I gave 1.
Yes, you did.
Oh, so that brings us to the closing arguments. This is our last chance to convince you to vote our way. We are each given 1 minute of uninterrupted time on Ghostly Studio Clock. Mm-hmm. And that's to keep everyone honest. Are you ready, Rebecca?
I'm ready.
All right. And
all right. So, I do think that Lucy does haunt this earth. I do think she had a very strong connection to her house, and that, it probably was a place that, she wants to revisit. At least there's some essence of her there. I mean, maybe it's just one of those residual pieces, but I think she likes to keep an eye on things. Same thing at her office. It's one of those, like, it seems mild, maybe not as strong as some hauntings that we hear about. So hopefully it's just something she does occasionally. Yeah. So again, I do think it's there, but it's super strong.
Okay, well, you almost ran out of time there.
But I didn't.
But you didn't. You did it perfectly on time.
Thank
it's
you.
like you timed it or something.
It is like I did.
Even though you're staring at the clock as you're talking, so you did. But okay, so I am ready to go too.
Okay.
And I am going to hit the button.
All right.
So I think of these celebrity ghosts like I would think of the past life people, where they're like, I was George Washington. It's always somebody famous. So like, I think that they have something in common, that they are this way because people want them to be real. They want there to be a Lucy still in the world. They want an encounter with something like that, just like you would want in real life. Who doesn't want to meet The Rock? Or I've brought him up before on the podcast. I don't know why The Rock, but who wouldn't want to meet, I don't know, anybody that's famous? We all have desires for that. So that's where I think this is coming from. So I don't believe that she haunts anything.
All right.
All right. I had a
Look
little
at
time
you,
there.
yeah, but
Yeah.
not much, So
Yeah.
that's good.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we return, we got some exciting news for everyone.
Woohoo.
All right, Rebecca, we are back. Thank you for coming to the post show. Maybe that's what we should call it.
Yeah.
The post extra show, the
Yeah.
extra ghostly.
The fun stuff.
Yeah. So, okay, let me break this news to everyone here. So this is something that I've wanted to do for years. And we kind of had this before.
Briefly.
Yeah, briefly, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Well, Ghostly has got a new phone number. So if you got a ghost story that you're dying to share, now you can. Ghostly has an official phone line. You can call or text us. That's something new, the texting, with your spooky encounters. And if you leave a voicemail, what's going to happen?
You might even hear it on the show.
Yeah. But you can also call just to say hi or wish us a happy 7-year anniversary or whatever you want. But another thing that you can do is you can make your voices heard in our latest polls. So here's how to vote. Text the episode title, add yes if you're a believer, no if you're a skeptic.
Then give it a haunting score from 1 to 10.
Yeah, so your opinions matter to us. Let us know what you think. That's not the only way to vote. You
Sure.
can vote the same way that you've been voting before by going to the website and clicking on polls. That's an acceptable way to do it as well.
ghostlypodcast.com/polls.
So here's that number that I promised. It's a 312 area code because Chicago. 869-9929. That's 312-869-9929.
Okay, one more time because you're trying to, get this down. 312-869-9929. You can also find that if you're a member of Ghostly Society on
Yes.
Facebook. We're not sharing this. I mean, it's public because it's in the
Yes.
episode, but you got to really listen and really want it.
Yeah, so I'm going to say let's put it in the show notes for the next couple of episodes.
Okay.
But after that, after this month, you will not find it in the show notes. You'll only hear it when we're talking here on Ghostly. And each week we're going to remind you about that number.
Absolutely.
But we would really love to hear from you guys. We do have a voicemail to play right now.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, so give me 1 second.
Hi, I was actually just calling to see what Pat's opinion is on the Broccoli Man cryptid out of West Virginia. Yes, I'm totally not joking. That is a serious cryptid out of West Virginia known as the Broccoli Man. Look it up. This is Bob from Bob After Dark. Thanks, Pat and Rebecca. Have a good show.
All right, so that is from Bob Anderson of Bob After Dark. While we're recording this, he just celebrated his 35th birthday the other day. So happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday.
Thank you for being our first voicemail in Ghostly.
Yeah.
This is going to be our listener mail as well.
Yes.
So-
We do have some listener mail, so I promise there'll be more coming up, but we
Yeah.
wanted to start and kind of show what we
Yeah.
can do now.
Absolutely.
If you're someone that's like, I can't imagine typing out my story,
Yeah.
call and tell it to us.
Absolutely. And, voicemails do have a time limit.
Yeah.
You might have to, give a couple messages.
Yeah, we're not going to pick up or anything, so just,
Yeah.
call
I'm going to try my
back
best
and-
not to pick up. And so, okay, as far as Broccoli Man goes.
Oh,
Bob,
yes, right.
There isn't a widely known or established Broccoli Man cryptid, right?
Okay.
I'm sure Bob knows this. He's making light of that I say that because he's a vegetarian that all he eats is broccoli.
Gotcha.
It's been an ongoing joke with me and Bob.
Yeah.
So it is probably, we're talking about the Vegetable Man, a West Virginia cryptid, first documented in 1968.
Okay.
This plant-like creature with suction cup fingers,
Ugh.
possibly introduced by hoaxer Gray Barker, is the likely candidate for what you're thinking of. Despite being described as thin and reed-like rather than broccoli-like, there are also fictional instances of Broccoli Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe
Aha.
and Dan versus TV series, which are not cryptids but fictional characters. So there was a single encounter in Fairmont, West Virginia in 1968, described as a tall 7-foot creature with arms like river reeds, suction cups on its fingers, and a need for medical help.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes described with suction cups, needle-tipped fingers, and pointed ears. The key characteristic is its resemblance to plant or reed, not specifically broccoli, though. But
Okay.
So I already said, it's Gray Barker. He's a known hoaxer that came up with this particular character. Although I appreciate it, Bob, I think of this the same way that I think of the praying mantis man that wears overalls. I was with you until he was wearing overalls. I was with you until I learned about Gray Barker. So
I see.
So that's been my research into that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, just going forward, right? So we've got the phone number. There's 2 other ways, right?
Yeah.
That people can
Give a
get a shout out.
or have your voice heard or name heard.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can also give us a review on Apple Podcast. We always prefer those 5-star reviews, but, we're going to read any and all reviews that we receive. The second way is to become a member on Patreon. Just go to ghostlypodcast.com and click on Patreon in the menu bar. We have a lot of different tiers to choose from, $1 to $10. We appreciate every single donation, and no money gets spent frivolously.
Yes, it's
we
all
use it all for Ghostly.
all for Ghostly to help keep it running, and so we really appreciate it. We love bringing these stories to you.
Actually, a lot of times we use it for parking when we go to Fan Expo or C2E2.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And then, listener mail, again, you can leave a voicemail. You could also email us at info@ghostlypodcast.com or use the contact us form on ghostlypodcast.com. There we go. And of course, one of our favorite ways, and we did get one this way, is to get actual mail.
Yeah. So we have one in the banks.
We do. I'm very excited with a lot of stories again.
Oh,
So
nice.
That'll be a nice long one for us. And again, you can send that to P.O. Box number 264, Geneva, Illinois, 60134.
All right. So, and I guess we have to do this. We're going to talk about the polls. I do want to say that polls will be open for this episode until November.
Yeah.
So the first episode in November comes out.
Yeah. So we're not going to be, this is our last time reading polls until we get to November. Because
Yes.
we know these weekly episodes come fast, right?
And
so
furious.
fast and furious. So you can text. That's why we want you to put that episode title in there. You know, go to ghostlypodcast.com/polls. Okay. So in our last episode, though, we talked about Hotel Monte Vista in Arizona.
You want it to be Monteverde?
I was trying to be fancy.
Oh, okay.
And we had yes 44%, no 56%.
All right. And you've seen this hotel, Rebecca, and do you agree with these numbers?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
It was the Meat Man was fun.
Yeah, so
That's where the broccoli man came from, right?
Bob said that's his nemesis.
I see.
Is the Meat Man.
Gotcha.
The overall rating, 3.43, which is pretty much fitting with that particular score. It kind of goes hand in hand, as we've noticed.
Yeah.
So don't let your friends miss out on the chills. Share Ghostly with them and help us grow this community of paranormal enthusiasts. What a great gift you would give somebody during this spooky season than to share a link to Ghostly.
Yes.
Your support means the world to us. We love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. I want to give a shout out to our VIP producers who make this all possible. We have Andrew,
Alicia,
Becky,
Cindy,
Kevin,
Jessica,
Alice,
and Aaron.
Is it real? You be the judge. Share your verdict at ghostlypodcast.com's poll section and let the debate continue. Remember, you can also do that phone number. One more time, it's 312-869-9929. Subscribe to Ghostly now and get ready for more spine-tingling encounters weekly this month.
Yes.
With the unknown.
Ooh. All right. So on the next episode, so next week, we're going to be talking about the ghost of Joan Crawford.
Yes.
No wire hangers. And it's coming out on October 15th.
And if you want to know all the episodes that are coming out this month, we posted it on Ghostly Podcast, and we've also put it on this Ghostly Society on Facebook.
Yeah, you can take a look online.
Is it on the gram?
Yeah, it's on the gram too. You bet.
Is it on X?
I don't know. It's harder now to get things to all the different ones. So we kind of stopped a little bit with that. But it'll be on Threads.
Threads, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, until next time, stay ghostly.
Bye.